I know you guys are all wondering, who's producing this movie now? After all, 3 movies in, each movie has been done by a different production company. Last one was done by Fox, this one's done by Universal Studios, and of course I'm talking about the latest animated movie. And let's go back to Burke and see how they train those dragons. How to Train Your Dragons, The Hidden World.
Rose and compromise. What?
How to Train Your Dragons, The Hidden World takes place 1 year after part 2, and we see that Hiccup and company continue to rescue dragons, and Burke is actually more a dragon place city than it is a human city, and that becomes a problem as all the dragon poachers who were alluded to in the second movie come back or are told that they're hunting dragons at a fever pitch, and Hiccup gets the idea of eventually saying, well, we're now an open target, we need to come up with an idea what to do next. And yeah, this movie, I like it. I think it's the worst one in the franchise, or it's my least favorite in the franchise, to put it in a better way. This movie, the main problem with this movie, it's afraid of holding on to any emotion. The scenes would pick up, and the resolution for them would literally be done either one scene later or in the same scene. This movie more or less feels like a mad dash to the end. It's like, we know we have one movie and we gotta end all this in one movie. And it really hurts the whole vibe of the movie. It hurts character arcs because there really aren't any. It hurts momentum in the movie, and it just hurts the overall effect of the movie. Okay, so as always, let's go to the likes. The animation in this movie is gorgeous. There are some scenes where they do close-ups on Hiccup, and it looks wonderful. This is photorealistic for the most part, and it is beautiful. I dare say it, this is better than what Pixar did with The Incredibles. But then again, that's a different format, but they were going for like hyper-realized. This one's going for more or less photorealized, but it worked. And the new dragon armor that most of the main characters have look gorgeous and so detailed and so textured. They look like you can actually touch them. The dragons once again are looking beautiful. I like all the voice cast was pretty good in this movie. I will say this, Astrid gets especially, she was very well written in this movie. There are parts where she actually gets a lot of face time in this movie, and to grow her character, not only that, grow her relationship with Hiccup, and they just work, they connect, and it feels very real. Their relationship feels like a real relationship, which is very good for this movie. Hiccup, I like his character, and I like his growth in the movie, but I'll talk about his growth when I go to the bad stuff about the movie. I will say this movie does flesh out a couple of other characters in this movie, like Tough Nut, who is not played by T.J. Miller in this movie, voiced by T.J. Miller, I should say. He gets a lot of scenes, and he gets a lot of funny scenes with Hiccup. There's like this whole, they set up a dynamic in the movie, and it really feels like out of nowhere, but it works. It's really funny, and it's well done. Also, Rough Nut, played by Kristen Wiig, she gets a little something to do. She actually probably has the funniest scene in the movie, and she knocked it out of the park. Well, what she was supposed to do, what her character was meant to do, she played it really well. Cate Blanchett was fine. She didn't have to do much. This really wasn't her story. This is a Hiccup story, and it was fine. Gerard Butler shows up to voice Stoic again in 2 scenes, more to make Hiccup more motivated, more or less, through flashbacks, of course. Craig Ferguson as Gobber, he didn't more or less do anything. He had a couple of jokes in there and a running gag that I don't think ever paid off. Yes, it had some funny lines, but I didn't understand what was the point of it. But he's fine as always. The scenes with Toothless and the Light Fury are really gorgeous. One of them, in the flying scenes, it was nothing but music and the two characters like flying through the world, flying overseas, flying through the clouds. And it was gorgeous, it was nice, it was very cute. Even the whole mating ritual between them and their meeting, they don't speak. We have no idea what they're actually saying, but it's really well done, it's really sweet, and it's really good at heart. So I'll give it credit for that. Alright, let's go to the bad. Hiccup's emotional journey. When I say that no development lasted longer than 2 scenes, his is the most troublesome since he's the main character. He's grown up. He's finally the king. And every time he doubts himself, someone would speak to him or someone would show him something which would lead to a second scene and he'd be completely fine. There's no character development with him. He just feels like somebody says, "Buck up, young lad," and he goes, "You know what? You're right." There is a touching scene with him and Astrid, but also Astrid, he is kind of used as a crutch in the movie for him. Like, something would happen, Astrid would be kind of pushed to emotionally help him, and it's like kind of solves itself out. Like, by the end of the movie, he was literally using her as a crutch. You'll find out. So that was one of the parts I didn't like about the movie. Also, why the hell is Jonah Hill in this movie? Why isn't he in any of these movies? His character, Slog Out or something like that, has no purpose. And to get someone like Jonah Hill for this movie, his character in this movie was probably more meaningless than in any of the other 2 movies previously. So it was just kind of a waste of money, I think. My other main issue, Jonah Hill was just a minor thing, I needed to say that. My main issue was with the bad guy, Grimsley. He was worse than Drago from part 2. And altogether, they set up this guy as this dragon killer. He's not even a hunter, he's a killer. And we find out a little bit about how he gained that reputation. And we also find out about his backstory in about 2 sentences that make us go, I don't care. And in the grand scheme of things, he doesn't really matter. He makes Hiccup do something that affects the town of Burke. And that's all he is. He's kind of like the character that pushes the plot, but it's not important to the plot. If that can make any sense. He makes characters react, but then he doesn't do anything. Not only doesn't he do anything, he's not even important. And in his final scene, he wasn't even the important part of that scene. He wasn't his conclusion was very anticlimactic, where he was doing something that was very climactic. So, yeah, he wasn't good. I will say this about the ending. I like the way it ended. If you're gonna end the series this way, this was the perfect way and the absolutely right way to end it. And I think I will give him that. The ride was turbulent, but the landing was pretty good. It was pretty smooth. I'll say that. I wish they would have used more of the second to main theme. The movie did end in a logical way, so I liked the movie. I didn't love it. Like I said, I enjoyed the other 2 better. 7.5. So, are you gonna see How to Train Your Dragon Hidden World? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe. Also, if you want to, I would suggest seeing this in some type of 3D version, especially IMAX. I saw it in AMC Prime, and in the fight scene at the end. By the way, that fight scene at the end made no sense. But at the fight scene at the end, when stuff is blowing up, the visuals are are coming at you and you're seeing the flying, it is breathtaking. So yeah, that's my thoughts on how to trade your dragon, Hidden World. Talk to you later.